I told him no before marriage, but at last I regretted everything. I grew up in a Christian home where purity before marriage was everything. I kept myself, I said no to every man, until I met a godly young man at a church seminar. We courted for 1 year, no touching, no compromise. Finally, our wedding day came, but on our honeymoon night, I discovered a shocking truth that broke my heart and left me full of regret. What would you do if the person you thought was your answered prayer turns out to be your biggest regret? I told my boyfriend no before marriage, but on our wedding night, I regretted it. I was born into a strong Christian family. My father was a church elder, and my mother was the women's leader. From childhood, I was taught that purity was a crown, and keeping myself until marriage was the biggest gift I could give my husband. I grew up believing it, breathing it, and holding it tightly in my heart. To me, it was not just a rule, it was my identity. When I became a young lady, men came and went, but I stood my ground. No sex before marriage, I told every single one of them. Many left me because of it, but I didn't care. I wanted to please God, and I wanted to honor my parents. That was my vow. Then one day, at a church seminar, I met him. He was tall, soft-spoken, and his voice alone could calm a storm. He prayed passionately, he quoted scriptures, and when he looked at me, I felt like God had finally rewarded my patience. My heart danced that day, not knowing the storm that was waiting ahead. We started courting. For 1 full year, we prayed together, fasted together, and dreamed together. He respected my boundaries. Not once did he ever pressure me to compromise my stand. He never asked to touch me in ways that made me uncomfortable. To me, this was proof he was the one. I remember my friends warning me, "Are you sure you know him well enough? What if you're surprised after marriage?" I laughed. Love is patient, love is kind. My man is God-fearing, what surprise can come from that? Little did I know that sometimes love can be blind. Sometimes, what you don't see before marriage becomes the very thing that shakes the marriage foundation. But at that time, all I saw was a godly man with a clean heart. If you're still watching up to this point, it means you're really enjoying the story. Please, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button now. It encourages me to bring you more emotional, powerful, and unforgettable stories like this one. The big day came. My family danced, his family rejoiced, and the church was filled with colors. I wore my white gown with so much pride, knowing I was walking down the aisle pure. As I looked at him waiting for me at the altar, my heart swelled with joy. This is the man God has kept for me. The pastor prayed, rings were exchanged, and we kissed. Everybody clapped and cheered. My friends whispered, "Finally, it's time to enjoy marriage." I smiled, thinking the same. But deep in my heart, there was a tiny voice I didn't listen to. That voice not asked, excited. "What if the man you are marrying is not what you think?" Telling him everything would be fine. I brushed it aside because love was louder. His hands trembled, and his eyes refused to meet mine. My heart beat faster than ever. Then came the moment that changed everything. I had waited all my life for this. What I saw left me speechless. I believed this was the night of joy, and the night of discovery. The man I had waited for, our union, the man I thought was my reward, carried a secret so heavy it shattered me in seconds. Wore my new nightgown. I realized that the one thing I had been expecting from marriage wasn't there. Something felt strange. He was different from every picture I painted in my mind. Almost scared. The dream of romance I held onto felt like smoke disappearing into the air. He tried to act like nothing was wrong, but I saw it clearly. My world stopped. I thought it was a joke, maybe stress, maybe a mistake. But as he tried, I understood this was not something that could change overnight. This was who he had always been. Tears rolled down my face silently. I turned away so he wouldn't see. My chest burned, my heart screamed, but my lips said nothing. I had fought so hard to keep myself, only to meet this reality. That night, I didn't sleep. He slept peacefully beside me, but I stared at the ceiling till morning. My mind kept replaying my parents' teachings, the church sermons, and my stubbornness. Wait till marriage, they said. Don't allow any man to touch you, they said. But now, I was the one carrying the pain. I asked myself, did I make a mistake? Should I have known before now? Was this really God's will for me? The questions never ended. My heart was torn between faith and frustration. When morning came, I wore a fake smile. Everybody expected me to be glowing as a new bride, but inside, I was bleeding. Days turned into weeks, and I kept pretending. At family gatherings, we looked like the perfect couple. On social media, I posted smiling pictures. But in reality, I was sinking deeper into regret. He was kind, loving, and caring in every other way. He prayed for me, cooked for me, and treated me with respect. But the emptiness in my heart refused to leave. Love is sweet, but sometimes, love is not enough. Every time I looked at him, I asked myself, can I survive this for the rest of my life? My tears became my secret friend, my pillow became my comfort. One night, I couldn't hold it anymore. I sat him down and asked, why didn't you tell me the truth before marriage? He looked down, ashamed. His lips trembled as he said, I was afraid you would leave me. That sentence pierced me. He knew, yet he hid it. He chose silence over honesty. My chest tightened as I realized the marriage I entered was built on half-truths. I wept loudly, not because of what I saw, but because of the betrayal. I gave him my purity, but he gave me a lie. I wanted to walk away, but divorce was against everything I was taught. I wanted to endure, but my heart screamed for freedom. Every day was a battle between my faith and my feelings. People kept saying, marriage is sacrifice. But how much could I sacrifice before losing myself? Was I wrong for keeping myself? Or was I wrong for keeping myself? Or was he wrong for hiding the truth? The confusion grew deeper. At night, I knelt to pray, but even prayer felt heavy. My tears became my only words. Looking back now, I realize that love is not just about waiting. Love is also about truth, openness, and understanding. If I could speak to young women today, I would say, keep yourself pure, but also open your eyes. Ask questions, know the person deeply before you say yes. Marriage is more than wedding gowns and rings. It is living every day with the truth of who your partner really is. And when truth is hidden, regret will surely follow. My story is not to shame anyone, but to teach a lesson. Love with your heart, but also with wisdom. For sometimes, what you refuse to see before marriage becomes the very thing that steals your peace after marriage. Purity is good, but wisdom is better when mixed with it. Waiting till marriage is honorable, but waiting blindly can lead to regret. Faith and wisdom must work together. Love is not just prayers and fasting. It is also about truth, openness, and communication. A lie, no matter how small, can destroy a lifelong covenant. Red flags are often ignored in the name of love. When your heart whispers, listen. When doubts appear, don't silence them. Marriage is not just about church weddings and honeymoon pictures. It is about daily reality, waking up to the truth of who your partner is. Pretending for the world is dangerous. Smiling for society while crying in secret only leads to inner death. Be honest with yourself. A partner's silence can be louder than words. If someone is hiding something before marriage, it will definitely show after. Sacrifice in marriage is good, but it has limits. Don't lose yourself while trying to endure. A broken person cannot build a healthy home. Love with your eyes open. Courtship is not just for quoting scriptures. It is for knowing the person deeply, emotionally, and truthfully. Parents and church can guide, but you are the one to live with the decision. Don't marry to please anyone, marry because you know and accept the truth. Truth before marriage saves tears after marriage. A strong marriage is not built on silence, but on transparency.